Hmm.
Hey, folks, welcome to the Generational Gap. I am Robert, your resident Gen Xer, and right over there is John, our resident millennial. John, how are you tonight?
A little tired, but I'm all right. I'm here for the show, ready to kick some ass,
Yeah.
especially your ass and some Iranian ass,
Oh, my.
as we're about to talk about soon, I imagine.
I ran
Bum,
so
bum, bum,
far
bum, bum, man.
away.
That's a good song too,
By who?
though. Yeah,
By
by
who?
those people who sing that song.
You don't know who sang that song?
No, not
Ah,
at the top.
sad. Some of the
Yeah, I
best,
know kids these days.
some of the best hair in the '80s.
Everyone that doesn't really narrow it down much.
Oh, no, 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 no! These guys were the best.
Where are
Uh,
they now?
yeah. Do you remember the flock of seagulls?
Oh, I know the name. Yeah.
Um, well, if you know the name, the important thing is to know the hair. Because without the hair, the name means little or nothing. And when I
I
say
know it's
that,
kind of a meme.
let me go ahead and, I don't know, can you see this, John? Can you see
I
this
think
lovely
we're
image?
I think we're being choppy again, like we were last time.
Are we?
Yeah,
There's no reason we should be.
I agree.
I have everything shut the front door. So I don't know why we would be choppy.
Yep.
How's your call connection show?
Good. All green.
All right. Well, I've got a lovely image of the flock of seagulls up on the screen. Um,
Oh, I see that now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're good now.
see that lovely hair?
Yeah, that's pretty
And so
sweet.
we've got little, we've got little, baby Huey over here with his little curly Q, and then this fucking Hawkman thing that's
Yeah.
going on there. Yeah, some of the best hair of the '80s, John, was flock of seagulls.
See, my favorite dude is the one all the way to the left because he's balding. So like, I feel like I'm represented there.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go with that. Let's go with
Hmm.
representation, equal
Right.
representation under the
Something
under the pop culture. Is that what it is?
like that. Yeah.
So, John, how was your lovely week?
It's all right.
Have you
I
bounced
mean,
back
you
from
know.
your sickness pretty well? All that
Yeah.
poopiness.
Yeah. I'm pretty all right.
Well,
Pretty decent.
I say poopiness. I don't know that there was any poopiness.
There was some poopiness.
I mean, not that I want to hear about it, but
Apparently, you do. You brought it up, so I think you want to hear all about it. You want to learn about like the viscosity of it,
um,
the speed
I just want
at
to
which
know:
it
did you
exits.
have full whipped mashed potatoes or did you have lumpy mashed potatoes?
I think it was like whipped and then like chunks as well. Like
That's
there might have been something else in there.
that's lumpy mashed potatoes, John. Jesus, why do we? You don't have to get
Well,
so
it
graphic. You could
changed,
have just.
changed
It didn't
over time.
change. It
It
just.
did.
It just. Gravity brings the liquid to the bottom,
Hmm.
right? So.
Gross. I mean, you brought it up.
It's gravity. What can you say? It's gravity. So,
Gravity's not real. We all know that.
yeah, you're right. The Earth just sucks. So,
Hmm.
is that what we go with?
Yeah, Earth just
Um,
sucks, so it pulls everyone. Keeps everyone grounded, literally.
what do you make of the speculation that there's salt water, a briny water on uh, not Io, one of Saturn's moons, the other moon, not Io, but
There's like 16
Titan. Is
moons,
it Titan?
more
Which
than
one's
that.
the
I think it's
ice
Titan.
that's covered in ice, right? And they believe that there's salty, salinated water underneath the ice, which of course is, hotbed for, well,
Yeah.
organisms. And then there's heat down in there, so there's going to be warm waters down underneath that ice somewhere. So I don't know, John. What do you think of this? Do you think that's a
Um,
thing?
I don't know shit about it, but what I do think we should do is if we do find life on Titan, we should call them Titanics. I think that's a pretty decent name for him. Also, Midget B's in the chat. He's saying he's so ornery. He's so ornery.
Is he Asian now?
So ornery. He's Kim Jong Un, obviously, from Team America World Police.
Sounds right to me.
So ornery.
So,
Rick Baldwin.
so you mentioned that Iran thing.
I
Do
didn't
you feel
mention
like we
nothing.
dodged a bullet?
I feel like they dodged a lot of bullets.
Did they? All right, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
That's funny. Hey, so this is going to lead us to talking about Trump, and I just want to open up. Trump was just here this week. What was it, Tuesday? He was here
Yeah.
visiting our fair Central Florida area.
Yep.
Supposed to record turnouts at the event, and wound up. I guess the numbers weren't quite as exaggerated as they thought. They said they had like 100,000, over 100,000 requests for tickets, for invitations, but the place only held 20,000 seats, and people were lining up 100,000. Okay, so it was a little bit exaggerated because they didn't even fill all the seats inside.
That's fake news. Okay. Fake news. Everyone in Central Florida was at my event. Okay. I can't do a Trump impression. That's the best I got.
And they put up they did the whole TV thing, and they said that the overflow area didn't really have hardly anybody in it. There wasn't a lot of people there. Most of the
Yeah, that's what the
reporters and
fake news
shit.
media says.
Of course, because they don't want him to.
They
They
don't
don't
want him to
want
be
him to
reelected.
succeed.
And
But
they have to impeach him. And, that's just the whole thing. They have to actually work and stuff. Like, Congress would have to actually work you. Like,
yeah.
gross.
But
Yeah, they don't
apparently
want to do that.
he gave a rousing speech at the rally and everything. So, John,
Robert.
if you are a presidential candidate
Okay.
and you are seeking reelection,
Mm-hmm.
what do you do? Do you just do you have some new policies? Have you done enough that now we need to look at new things? Like if you've made America great again, now we need to look at policies, and we need to look at
Mm-hmm.
things that are going to move that forward. Is that correct?
Well, so what I would do if I was in Trump's position was keep pushing for the wall thing. Say, like, our border's still a piece of shit and needs to be fixed. And, there's still all kinds of shit going on down there. We need to fix that stuff. People are worried about these detention centers. They're calling them concentration camps. Well, we can get rid of them pretty easily by plugging up those holes in the wall in the border.
Hmm.
And shit like that. So spinning the negative things that people are saying about him, even though he didn't start those camps, but whatever. Start spinning those into like, hey, we can get rid of them. I want to get rid of them. That's my goal, is to get rid of them through fixing the border.
Well, I want you to.
So that would be the first thing I would do. Yeah.
So he had his speech last night or on Tuesday night, and Trevor Noah, who he's just a satirist, right? He's one of our political pundits. He had his people put something together, and it was kind of eye-opening. Listening to the things Trump was saying at this new rally as compared to what he was saying in 2016. So hopefully you'll be able to hear this. I mean,
Well, probably not. But where's the video from?
it's in the Discord. I put it in there earlier today.
Yeah, I'm just
in the
saying because
show
Trevor
suggestion.
Noah's show is known for taking videos down and stuff. Like, people who use his image and stuff, or they take that kind of stuff down,
What do you mean?
copyrights and stuff.
So you can't show a
Like,
clip that they post on Twitter?
I don't know. I mean, we can try it, but
I mean, it's a clip that they posted on their Twitter feed.
I mean, all right, we can try it. Like I said, it's up to you.
I mean, hopefully it
It's
won't be
not.
horrible.
Yeah, hopefully.
But anyway, so he compares the two, and it's startling how similar, like almost exact, Trump is now versus 2016. Here we go.
Last night, Melania's husband held a rally in Florida to officially kick off his 2020 campaign. And usually, a re-election campaign offers new ideas, new policies to move the country forward. But last night's speech felt like an exact replica of him running in 2016. And when I say exact replica, I mean exact, right? In fact, when we put his speeches from 2016 with the ones from last night, well, you tell me if you can spot anything new.
Make America great again. Make America great again. The greatest theme in the history of politics. Maybe the greatest theme of all time. Drain the swamp.
And Hillary Clinton, crooked Hillary.
Deleted and acid washed 33,000 emails. 33,000 emails deleted, bleached, acid washed.
People are pouring in, open borders.
Destroy our country.
Deplorables.
Win, win, win.
I will never,
ever
let you down.
Trump 2020 now in stereo.
So, but anyway, of course they took bits and pieces of the speech and they just ran it side
so he's
by
saying
side.
the same stuff that he said before.
It's like pretty much the same message. Now, well, I get it. Okay, there's a certain amount of that message that, he still wants the wall. He still wants to send that. But, I mean, come on. He's got to let the Hillary thing go. We're 2 years in. He's looking at re-election. He needs to let that shit go. Right?
I mean, he doesn't bring it up all the time, right? He brought it up then.
He brings it up at his rallies.
And but the point, he was, they dropped the context for why he brought it up.
Well, possibly.
It was about, it was about something that he did that they were like, oh, we have to do, investigations into this now. And,
right.
And yeah, he was saying, my favorite part of that, what he was saying was, imagine if I had deleted one email.
Right. But this
between him and Melania, and he's, and it's like, oh, that would have been the end of Donald Trump.
Yeah, this is the
or
same
she
rhetoric.
could do whatever she wants.
It's the same rhetoric he's been spewing for the last 2 years. I mean, he's talked about if he had done it, he would have been crucified for it. But Hillary gets away with it. He wants to make the Democrats look bad with the Hillary Clinton thing, but
he doesn't have to do anything to make them look bad. He just has to point at their point his finger at them, and say, like, look, just watch.
But
look how bad they are. Just watch.
He needs to distance himself from that shit. I mean, as much as I say that the Democrats need to distance themselves from the Mueller report and just let that shit lie and worry about defeating Donald Trump, he needs to not keep people thinking about it as well. I mean, he's got to. Let's
They're not going to drop that, though. They're not going to drop the Mueller report. They're not going to drop any of the things.
Okay, so
it
that
does.
Doesn't. Two wrongs don't make a right, John.
No, but it does matter. It does matter in this case.
It doesn't matter if they don't drop it. If they don't drop it, they lose.
Does.
No.
If
they don't drop it, they lose.
No, because it's not true. No, they don't.
So you don't think they'll lose if they don't drop the Mueller report?
What do you mean? I know. So
if they don't,
the whole point is that they're going to keep that in the minds of the American people. Whereas if he doesn't keep in mind of the American people how bad the Democrats are, then it's all going to be going one way. I mean, it's not like he's going to get any kind of positive coverage on any of the news networks except for maybe Fox News, maybe.
Okay, and all I
said
that's
about it.
Because they won't drop it, that's why they're going to lose. If they're not,
well, no, that's why he would lose.
He's not going to lose to the Democrats if the Democrats keep harping on this bullshit. If they don't fight on policies, if they don't stand on real things that affect real people, and they focus on this bullshit with Russia and obstruction and all of that, especially when it whittles down to Biden and fucking Sanders. If they're too focused,
you think it's going to be Biden and Sanders?
That's the two top people right now that it's going to boil down
right now,
to
yeah.
as it stands, right? But if they're harping about that, they're going to lose more votes than they're going to gain.
I don't know.
And I've said this from the beginning. They need to distance themselves from the Mueller report, let it go, stop worrying about impeachment, stop worrying about any of it, and the Democrats need to focus on beating Donald Trump based on the issues.
Yeah, but they can't. So they're going to have to keep bringing that up.
That's what's going to cost them. That's what's going to hurt him. It won't cost him. So I mean, he could let it go. He could just not mess with that and focus on things like he should be focusing on.
Yeah, and he did.
Immigration, focus on Iran, focus on world politics. But but I just don't. I, I understand consistency, but I also understand repetitiveness, right? I mean, don't people want a newer, fresher message from the president, or they just want the status quo that Trump gives?
Mm. But yeah, see, Biden is down, Sanders is down, and Pocahontas is up.
None of it matters till after the debates have started.
Right.
You know,
But yeah, but I don't think it's going to be Biden or Sanders. I think it's going to be either Elizabeth Warren. I still put Andrew Yang as going to be gaining a lot of momentum after this the first debate that comes up. And then Tulsi Gabbard, I think, is also going to get a lot of momentum as well.
well, so you know that tells me that the DNC, but see, that tells me the DNC is going to play games with it again, and they're going to target
Hmm.
a specific label, right? Are they gonna fight for a woman to be presidential candidate again? Is that what they're
Hmm.
gonna do? You know, like they did the last time, where they threw Sanders under the bus. Are we gonna have a situation like that now?
I think so. I think they're going to have hopefully a women's of color, but either that or Andrew Yang, who is a man's of color.
Because I don't care what anybody says or does. You know, you better bring somebody strong to the fucking table. This man
Yeah.
can take the vote, and you won't even know how he did it. The same way he did the first time. And if people still fucking scratch their heads. I don't understand how this happened. But so they need to. I don't know. I want something. You know, come on, Donald. Give me something new. Give me something fresh. Give me. You know.
Well, yeah, he's got "Keep America Great!"
Yeah.
exclamation point. He's got that, you know, we can CAG instead of MAGA.
Well, I don't know that. I don't know that things are necessarily great here, but it's a thing.
It's because you're a filthy commie.
Am I? Am I
Yeah.
a filthy commie?
You are. You're wearing a red shirt and everything.
You know, there's red in our flag, John. Are we commies?
No, of course not. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see how those two things are related whatsoever.
Exactly.
Yeah, the red in the flag is for the blood of the patriots
Is that what that is?
who maintain our freedoms. Right, damn it.
So, not Trump. Interesting news coming out of the Chicago area. I'm
Yes,
kind
yes,
of
there
hyped
is.
about this. So, Jussie Smollett back in the news. And he's
Yeah.
not faking anything this time.
Oh man.
So apparently, someone thinks it might be a fun idea to kind of relook at everything that happened with Jussie Smollett and try and figure out why exactly his case was thrown, his charges were dropped,
Yeah, it's
and
interesting,
maybe
right?
re-examine whether or not he should face criminal charges and actually take him to trial for them. But there's, according to the judge, there's unprecedented regularities identified in the case, which warrants the appointment of independent counsel to restore the public's confidence in the integrity of our criminal justice system. I like
Yeah.
that.
I don't think maintain is the right word. I think you know, not maintain, but like actually make it. Have integrity and whatever else he said. Because I don't believe that it has any right now. I don't think the justice system really works in general.
Well, he is talking about theirs up there. He's talking about on a local level, not on
Yeah.
a
Still,
John's not happy with Florida level.
no, 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 not even Florida. Chicago is notoriously corrupt, like all through, like through and through. The
Well,
entire city,
Pick a
and
major
even
city in America that's not.
yeah, but Chicago is a special case.
Is it
They are,
more
yeah,
special than New York?
yes,
Really?
they're on par with Toronto, which had that one mayor who was like, I forget what his name was, but he was a fucking legend, dude. I can't even be mad at that guy. He was doing like cocaine all the time and like fucking hookers. It was great. Dude was amazing.
I don't know. For some reason, for me, when I think of corruption in a city on a grand scale,
Oh yeah, there was bribery and shit. Oh
New
yeah,
York is
it
the
was
one that
bad.
always pops to mind. I
Oh no,
always
New
think
York is bad, but
it's been
Chicago is
and
way
longer.
worse.
It's been going on longer in New York because New York was there early. They've been around for a piece. They got corruption down
See, I
to
agree
an
with
art.
J. Edgar there. Chicago should just be nuked. Not all of it, though. Some of it's pretty nice.
That's not fair. Chicago didn't do anything wrong. It's the people.
Oh, they did a lot wrong.
The city didn't. The buildings didn't do anything wrong.
I guess that's true.
I mean, there's
And Chicago's not that bad. I guess it's a nice place to visit. I would
There
never
are-
want to live
there
there.
are
It's a nice
some-
place to visit.
there are some folks there that are just trying to get by and have a happy space. But anyway, so
See, it's been his second alderman's office raided in Chicago in a week.
Well.
Yeah.
sounds like they're trying to clean up some corruption.
Yeah, well, he obviously fucked up and didn't pay the right people.
Well,
It wasn't on time with the payment, and
Well-
they, were like, all right, get him out of.
right.
Put someone in there who'll pay.
So
Oh, yeah.
as far as Jesse is concerned, so the original prosecutor on his case, Fox, who they're talking about in this, she stepped down. She recused herself because she had personal relationship with the family. But the mistake that she made was appointing it to somebody else within their same office, as opposed to going outside of that. So that made things questionable when the charges were dropped. But the judge did say where was it at that I mentioned earlier? It said that he faces the opportunity to be recharged, rearraigned, and have the grand jury reconvened on this. It says, while Smollett was indicted for allegedly making a false police report, he was never put on trial, so double jeopardy protections against being prosecuted after an acquittal would not apply here.
Hell yeah.
And, so that means they're going to relook into this, and they're gonna see if maybe they can't put the screws to him for what he did. Guess who? Black Democrats. What?
Yeah, raided by the feds and corruption investigations. But to be fair, Chicago elects exclusively black Democrats. So, I mean, obviously there's going to be corruption. It's going to be by them because they're the only ones who are in power. I don't know if that's true. I'm making that up. I have no idea if that's true or not. Did I miss the announcement? No, I haven't made the announcement yet, Ed.
There's an announcement?
Yeah, there is an announcement, yes.
You haven't even told me about this, you ass.
No, I haven't. I haven't told you about it.
Then you're just going to have to suck it up. We're talking about something else right now.
Nope, I'm going to do it right now.
No.
Yep.
No.
So, on July 1st, I'll be recording on Ed's World with our own J. Edgar. So, we'll be doing that, and then it should be out on the 2nd, which is a Tuesday. So, that'll be a lot of fun. I don't know what we're going to talk about yet, but yeah. I haven't been on Ed's World in quite a while.
At least
so that'll be fun.
Month and a half, 2 months.
That's when you were on it.
You were on it.
I haven't been on since before. No, I've only been on once. You've been on twice.
Right. But the time you were on was right before the second time I was on, is what I'm saying. So
no, the time I was on was I was on right before you were. I was on the week before you were.
That's what I just...
The first time. No, the first time I was on the week before you were, and then I haven't been on since.
I thought I was on there first, and then you went on there, and then I went on there.
John, you're just going to blow your load on that announcement at some random time. Except I'll make the announcement again. I just didn't make it at the beginning. So.
Right. See how it is?
See, I was the first guest, though. See? I was the first guest on Ed's World.
Yeah.
So get ready for Ed's World 2, Electric Boogaloo, featuring John.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
Better pay that electricity bill.
No. Let's talk about Jussie Smollett now.
We already did.
Oh, all right.
Is there anything else you wanted to add to that? It's pretty cut.
Well, I'm happy that it's being brought up again. Because, I mean, he really slipped out of there for no reason whatsoever. Other than, obviously, he's rich and has friends in high places, so...
Well, apparently rich people get away with shit, John.
Yeah, it's true. But I'm hoping that we can change that.
Well, apparently rich people, if they want to, they can just walk in to a dressing room and rape a bitch.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So yeah, this is interesting. This story that's come out, and it's E. Jean Carroll is claiming that he raped her in a dressing room in the mid '90s.
Trump? No.
Yeah. So
This is my skeptical face right here. Skeptical.
is that your skeptical face?
Yep.
So apparently in late '95, early '96, they both ran into each other at Bergdorf Goodman. It's an upscale department store there in New York. I'm sure you've heard of it, Bergdorf's.
No.
She recognized him, and I guess he recognized her. He had told her he was there buying something for someone. And they joked around a little bit, and apparently he was joking around with her about trying on some lingerie for him. She says that they then went to a dressing room where she accuses him of raping her. So, okay, so right there, you're going into a dressing room with Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's qualify something here. This is 23 years ago. Now, 23 years ago, and she's in her 70s right now, they would have both been in their 50s, roughly. All right, so here are two middle-aged people, adults,
Yep.
going into a dressing room together. All right. He was married to Marla Maples at the time. Miss Carroll said that she told two friends. Now, she recounts it in the book, and I read the little excerpt that she talks about. And so basically, I guess she was laughing. They were cutting up and everything, and then he started being aggressive, and he pushed her up against the wall. Grabbed her by the arms and this kind of thing, and then he reaches under her coat dress, and he grabs her tights and he pulls her tights down, and then she's I guess nervous, panic giggling the whole time. I don't know, nothing that would spur anyone on if they were having sex, right? Giggling is usually that's when you know to stop, right?
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, usually stop and like, wait, this is funny to you?
No
Like, what am
means
I?
no,
What the fuck?
and giggle means hell no.
No, I'm sorry. I wouldn't like it if someone's giggling while I'm trying to fuck them,
So then,
consensually or not.
right?
That's really off-putting.
So then,
I'd be like, no.
So then apparently he pulled his cock out, and with her backed up against the wall, is able to just shove his cock in her, and she says she didn't know it shoved half of or maybe the whole thing in. Like, okay, again, we're 50 years old, and we don't know when the whole thing's in, and hey, we're 50 years old. Trust me when I tell you, his size, your size, she's a taller, not a short woman, but still, he's still taller than her. You don't just stick it straight in on a horizontal plane. It's not that easy.
You mean on a vertical plane?
There's some horizontal, him this way. Like they would be standing.
Right,
up.
yeah.
He would be going at it like this. When normally there needs to be a little angle. Yes, it's possible, but it takes a little manipulating. And apparently, he had her by the arms and this, that, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that doesn't make any damn sense. Yeah, Robert, are you being sarcastic?
Did this
happen? In the chat. I don't think it happened. I don't think. If anything, it was a consensual blowjob in a dressing room. That's the most that would have happened.
Yeah,
that is the most I could see that happen. That's it.
So she's got a book coming out.
Oh, that's convenient.
Right.
And
I believe in this book she talks about it. So the real question becomes, it comes down to Trump says he's never met the woman.
Mhm.
Now, based off this story, there's really no way to know
Yeah.
if they met or not because there were no other witnesses. Now, apparently, she told some people after this happened. She told two friends about it, one of whom advised her to go to the police, and the other said, "Forget it, he has 200 lawyers, he'll bury you."
Yep.
And in this article that she wrote, not specifically the book, he is one of 6 awful men that she alleges has attacked her.
Attacked.
Now,
I don't know what that means. What does attacked mean?
rape is an attack, John.
Yeah, but there's also other attacks, right?
But
Like what?
Sexual? Did she say sexual? It's just
No, she
6
says
alleged
attacked.
attacks.
Yeah.
So
Which,
of
as we
course
know nowadays,
it
a lingering gaze is an
well,
attack.
Well, we
So,
have to assume that it's sex. Now,
yeah, that's what you're led to believe,
I'm
for sure.
I'm gonna put this out there. I've seen the woman,
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna go
Yeah.
ahead and say that based off of, I'm going to say that. Let me say this. I'm going to be blunt here, John. Sorry if this offends.
I'll be fine.
I've seen the tail Trump pulls,
Mm-hmm.
and this is not that tail. This is not at that level. Did you saw Star Trek, right? First Contact, the
Yeah.
generation movie, right? And
Mhm.
remember the guy that played, what's his name, that invented the warp drive?
Yeah. Yeah.
She kind of
Yeah.
looks like him in the face.
That's true. She does.
So
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm questioning whether or not this is a true allegation.
Yeah, she does not look like. I'll put it like she doesn't look the presidential sort.
Well, there's a picture of her for
Presidential
everyone to
con-
see, and so
Okay.
so everyone tell me, does this bespeak the quality that Donald Trump is used to? I mean, is that? I mean, when we look
I
at
like how
Edward
Midget B
Flowers,
says she looks like a chicken head. No, she does not look like a chicken head.
when we
No.
oh, I wish I knew that actor's name, because it's
Yeah,
side by
she's
side
not.
perfect.
She might have been attractive in her 20s, but not in her 50s.
Yeah, and that's what I'm just like, really. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
John,
not
what do you
really.
think? Do you think he would have done that?
I mean, I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility that he would do that in general. But like not raping, but maybe going a little bit too far, and then when it's clear that he's going too far, stopping maybe. But not with her, and I don't think that this case is anything real. I think she made it up to sell her book more, get her attention. Because has anyone heard of her before? I mean, have you heard of her before this?
No.
For today? I mean, no, not at all. You're right, like Midget B says, sounds like a BJ she regrets.
Yeah.
And she had to make it more than it really was.
So this is the guy I was talking about that she looks. His name's James Cromwell. So I mean, it's to me, if you go back and forth between the two of them enough, it's like she could be his daughter. She could be. And that's not Trump level tale to me. That
Right.
That's I can't. I'm not buying into it, John. You got to have a witness for this one. You got to have a witness. I mean,
Yeah.
he was married to fucking Marla Maples at the time.
I don't know what she looks like, but I'm sure she's way
Not
more
that.
attractive.
Not that.
Yeah.
Oh no, not that. No. No.
Yeah, I was 5 and 6 when this was supposed to have happened, 95, 96. I was 5 or 6, so I would have no idea who this person is. But I'm sure that she was way more attractive. Oh, hurry! Stephen Ignoramus is going to come raid our chat with BBC and gore memes.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it when he.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second,
Oh my gosh! Hey,
because that was a lot of fun.
That was wow! I have not heard the N word used that much since I was in Atlanta.
Yeah, Midget B might not know about it because he's not. Yeah, see, bringing on Normie. Yeah, Midget B knows what we're talking about. Because, like I said, that was raid tactics, but it was pretty impotent from other raids that I've seen before.
Well, yeah. I mean, now, of course, you have to take into account, any NSF situations that would have occurred, right? People all of a sudden
Yeah.
just like you're like, oh shit.
First, we begin with the crisis in Iran
do
overnight.
I-
Oh
President
yeah,
Trump
no, for sure.
approving a
I mean,
military strike, retaliating.
Shut up.
but that was in the in Stephen Ignoramus's Discord while he was live on the air with one of his guests, and
That was some.
suddenly these like 4 or 5 people joined and started throwing up like not gifts, but they started saying the N word all the time, like tons, like lynch N words and all this other kind of crap, and throwing up images of like gore and big black cock and all this other kind of stuff.
I have to say that my favorite part of the attack was, and I had trouble for a moment trying to figure it out because one of them had duplicated
Oh.
Steven's name,
Yes.
and for the avatar, it was a picture of like this 12-inch
Uh-oh.
BBC hanging there.
Hang on real quick. We're getting F's in the chat, which means that our stream, and I just looked, our stream is frozen and down. Oh no. Oh no.
What's our connection showing?
Okay, no, I can see it. Oh, no. It's not the call connection, it's the stream. Stephen Ignoramus said that traumatized me. I bet it did.
I don't see anything on my end that would be causing an issue. Okay, so is the stream still going?
No. I mean, it's still like,
I'm seeing chat still moving.
yeah, chat is moving, and 5 people left the server. Can you guys hear us now? I mean, are we still on? Can't tell. I mean, Steven's talking like,
Right.
like we are.
That's what I was
Not
wondering.
saying, hey, what happened to you guys? Yeah, he says little race shit, blood porn. Yeah, audio is fine. Well, the audio is fine, but the video, I guess, is fucked up.
Well, that's
Yeah, it'll come back, I think, and it
Yeah.
should be fine on the playback.
Don't know
Yeah,
why the video's frozen. There shouldn't be an issue with the video. Mine seems a little irresponsive on my end, but my connection.
yeah,
shows
mine's
good.
completely frozen. I don't know. I guess keep trying to refresh. I don't know,
Yeah, no.
but yeah.
But yeah, when
Steven said 5 people left his server. Yeah, no, I told him that because we had a Discord call immediately after, so that I could help him, learn how to use Discord for his server. And yeah, he was telling me, I was telling him that the one who impersonated him was pretty great,
yeah,
and that was my favorite one.
I was like, I've never seen Steven look like this before. I was like, damn. So is that
Yeah.
is that an avatar you're going to start using more, Steven? Because
Yeah, with the big black
I
cock.
was impressed. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's back. All right, cool. You got to fix that shit. We might have to do another test stream someday.
So if I'm showing good quality connection on my end and your end, consider that it might be on YouTube's end.
Maybe.
Because my internet shows fine, our call on Discord is fine, and there's no kicks from OBS. OBS is showing everything running and operational as normal. In fact,
And yeah,
I'm all green on OBS.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is YouTube. Maybe we're getting throttled. Maybe we're naughty boys.
Maybe they're running. Yeah, I mean, there's no telling. I mean, notice we haven't had any issues on YouTube till after this new banning bullshit that they started doing.
Yeah, that's true. Until I bust out of the gimp suit, says Stephen Ignoramus.
Oh, that's
Nice.
some funny shit.
Yeah.
I would
And,
love to see you in a gimp suit. That would be awesome. Pulp Fiction,
Wow.
right? They got the perfect
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction gimp suit.
And Ed says if Steven hadn't said anything, I'd never have known. I mean, I only knew because I get like I haven't muted his channel, his server, so like I get
Right.
all the notifications whenever anything is said there, and so all of a sudden it was like bam, 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 just over and over again.
Were you
And I was like,
hearing
what the
what
fuck
was
is
being
going on?
said, or just the notifications?
Oh no, I could read what was being said because it was like a little like preview of it pops up, and so I could see what's being said, and I was like, whoa, that's not
So,
usual for
oh,
his server.
well, see, that was the thing. They were doing it all voice, right? Like it
Oh,
was.
well, I wasn't in the voice channel. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. So, like, no matter what I did, other than just muting and shutting down Discord,
Hmm.
it was just flying out of my speakers the whole
Weird.
time.
I didn't hear any of that.
Yeah,
Weird.
no, they had set it to so that it was doing computer speak.
Oh shit, the
there's-
text to
yeah.
speech. Yeah.
Yeah, the text. So it was like, oh my goodness! And one of them did the N word like, I don't know, 30 times. It's just,
Yeah. Yeah. Poor Steven. But yeah, no. Yeah, that guy's YouTube channel he's obviously a fucking idiot. That guy. Ed said all three of us had issues. I don't know what you mean. Who's three of us?
what
I
are
don't
you
know.
talking about with YouTube?
Oh yeah, that's true. We have had issues. I think we're naughty boys. That's what it is.
I'm just wondering if they've tried to put some sort of active filter on.
Yeah, that's right. It did. It got on air apparently.
Oh, that's right. Some of it.
yeah,
Because
so he had to
Discord
go
just
back
started
and edit
busting
it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he was trying to fix it on his phone. I think is what he was saying, and so he had to. And he was doing it like live on the air, and so he had to. It came through on his phone.
Could you imagine that shit happening to us? We'd have to kill the stream.
Nah, that wouldn't happen to us.
Why
We're
wouldn't it?
we're too awesome.
No, because you try and pull the plug and get us to do stupid shit like that all the time. What goes around comes around.
What? I don't try to get us to do stuff like
Yes,
that.
it's similar stuff. You want to go? You want to go
No.
raid people? You've tried to get us to go raid J. Edgar. We've tried to raid.
No,
Steven
we've raided
Ignoramus.
Steve. We raided Steven
Remember
Ignoramus.
all
but it
that
was
that whole file of BBC pictures you sent me?
No, shut up. We're on the air right now. God, and that wasn't for raiding. That was just for your own private use.
Oh,
See,
you're so sweet to me. Steven
I know.
got raided. I was privatized by default for a while, and was completely unsearchable early in the week. Yeah, I mean, there's just
Is it getting throttled? Yeah,
There's
we're naughty boys.
there's a lot going on with YouTube that's kind of gumming up the works. So
Yeah, well, they're releasing more and more algorithms that are slowing everything down. I guess I don't know. I don't know how that works.
I mean, we've come to the determination we want to start streaming on DLive, but I guess we're going to have to bite the bullet and we're going to have to start paying for a service that'll split the stream because we can't just. It's going to be impossible for us to just walk away from YouTube completely and
Yeah.
just flip to DLive. We need to do a transition, right? We need to have something go on there. So we're going to have to do that for a few months until we go ahead and pull the plug and go ahead and switch straight to DLive, I think. But I think that's something we're going to have to do and get away from this.
Stephen Ignoramus says BBC is the only news source I trust. Oh man, well you had plenty of it in your server the other day, so
Yes, and your own was looking mighty fine, sir.
Gore-
I'm just saying.
He says Gore is the only one I'll vote for.
Gore is the only one I'll vote for.
Oh man, that's good stuff.
Yeah. At least they gave you some good joke material. That's what matters.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, speaking of good joke material,
Oh, that's a good transition.
it was till you called
Oh,
it out.
Restream is free, apparently. We'll have to look into that after the show.
No need to pay for what?
For Restream, for streaming on multiple platforms simultaneously.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wait,
Yeah,
isn't
we'll have
that
to
the
check
one
it
you
out.
showed me?
No, I showed you something else, I think. Didn't I?
Because I could have sworn
I don't know.
Restream called for payment for like when you added more sources. Get with me, Steven. We'll talk. We'll do
Yeah.
lunch. We'll do lunch. All right. So, John,
Hmm.
last night we almost did it.
We did.
He almost took us there. And
He edged us for a while.
He took us right to the brink. We were at the 10-minute window last night. So,
Yeah.
in case anybody's been living in a box with no holes in it, Iran's been fucking around, which is not surprising. We pulled out on a deal with them, right? We walked away from the Iran nuclear deal. Yeah, I stream on DLive, Mixer, Periscope. Good Lord.
Yeah, Jesus, dude. Calm down, Steven. Jeez.
How much of an attention whore is he?
Right?
Anyway,
Like all the platforms must know me and my
so
ignoramusness.
since we pulled out of the deal, Iran has kind of ratcheted up the rhetoric. They've kind of ratcheted up a bit because we went ahead. We've got sanctions in place. You know, Trump wants the same results from a nuclear standpoint from them, but he doesn't want to use the deal to get it because he sees the deal as bad. Our part in it is not good for us. Obama shouldn't have given them money, bailed them out. Sanctions will do it. So that's where we're at, right? Michelle and Al. So, he just made a BBC joke about Michelle Obama. That is horrible. Right. She was such a nice first lady. I mean, no matter who her husband
she was a man. It's okay. I mean, she was a man. I mean,
wasn't
what
a
do?
Man.
She was a man. She had a bigger dick than either of us. Than both of us put together, in fact.
Well, it worked.
Yeah.
But anyway, so in the last couple of weeks, what have we seen? 2 Chinese tankers were supposedly attacked with mines, though there's conflicting stories there. I think Germany's taken our side and says, yeah, we think that Iran pulled the attack. But, you know, again, conflicting reports there. But now, yesterday morning, early in the morning, for us, they shot down one of our drones. Now, according to them, the drone, which we say was in international airspace, or in international airspace, they claim that it crossed over into their territory. And when you look at the map, they show a map of where Iran claims the shoot down happened and where America claims the shoot down happened for the drone. Now, so everything's in dispute here, right? Okay, on both sides. But on Friday, Iran's semi-official Fars news agency reported that the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps aerospace commander had told reporters that while Iran was intercepting the drone it shot down Thursday, there was also an American P-8 spy plane flying nearby with 35 crew members on board. How they got that number, I don't know. I don't know how you tell how many people are on an opponent's airplane. But they say it also violated airspace, and they could have shot it down too, but they chose not to. Okay, that's their story. Now, do you need 35 men on a spy plane?
Maybe.
Are we that technologically backwards at this point? Isn't that what the drone is supposed to be doing in the first place? Spying? So that we don't.
Who knows? I have no idea how that kind of stuff works.
So he said
I wonder if it was an AC-130 because those are fucking badass.
No, it's an American P-8 spy plane.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
It's a P-8.
I don't even know how many people. Okay, yeah, I understand that.
I don't know how many it holds. Maybe it holds a max of 35, so they assume that's what's on it.
But probably what was going on.
Trump called the decision to shoot down the drone a mistake made by someone in Iran he labeled loose and stupid. When he commented on it, he then said they made a very big mistake after Iran had said that they were ready for war. So Iran is ready. They're like, we're ready to go to war if we need to. That's
what Saddam Hussein said too, to be fair.
Right.
And then so what happened
Kim
there?
Kim Jong-un, right? But so here's what happened. Yes, after that. So apparently Trump they come to Trump, they talk about it, and they decide that they're going to strike. He says, we were cocked and loaded to retaliate last night on 3 different sites when I asked how many people will die. 150 people, sir, was the answer from a general.
Well, they're not
min-
going to name names, yeah.
like we don't know who the Joint Chiefs of Staff are that are sitting in that room having that conversation.
Yeah, but you don't know which one said it.
Whatever. He
Could be
doesn't
any
know
of
which
them.
one. He doesn't know their fucking names. It says,
Sure, he knows their names.
He said, 10 minutes before the strike, I stopped it. Not proportionate to shooting down an unmanned drone. I am in no hurry. Our military is rebuilt, new and ready to go. By far the best in the world. Sanctions are biting and more added last night. Iran can never have nuclear weapons, not against the USA, not against the world. Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate here a little bit.
Okay.
So, do you, well, let me ask you, do you feel like Donald Trump's first and foremost concern with a drone strike is how many civilians it was going to kill? Or how many people were going to die?
I mean, there's no way of knowing that for sure.
I'm just asking your opinion, John.
I don't know. I don't know.
So the part
They don't
about
have it.
the part that makes me question it is, so they talked to Nancy Pelosi. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on Friday, answering a reporter's question, said she had not been informed of the impending strike. And Chuck Schumer also says he was not informed about it. So Congress was not alerted to this at all.
Okay.
Which, am I not correct? They should be involved, right?
I mean, as long as it's not a declaration of war, they don't have to be involved.
Okay, so I guess that's where I don't understand the gray area, where they can make a targeted strike like that without it being a war provocation, even knowing that it will probably start a war.
Right. So it can, if it starts a war, then they would have to formally declare war, and that takes Congress to do that. So, which might have been why it wasn't a good idea to retaliate in the first place.
Because they,
What they're probably trying to do, what I'm thinking he's trying to do is get Iran to declare war first, so that we're coming in, as not the provocateur, but as the almost like self-defense. Even though I don't think that they could really do anything to us necessarily.
Well,
but if they were to declare war first, we come in as the good guys.
Well, some of the top level officials involved in it said that that it would have definitely escalated the situation to an unknown point, to the effect that they expected many more civilians were going to wind up dead in this had the attack gone on last night. So I don't know. Would you agree that? Do you agree with canceling the strike, or do you think that we should have gone ahead with it?
No, I think that knowing that the strike was going to happen and then having him pull back at the last minute sends that same message to Iran that it would have sent anyway, but without having us look like pieces of shit. To at least make it appear, whether or not he does, but make it at least appear like he doesn't want to start war and that he doesn't want to kill innocents necessarily. So, I mean, I think from a PR perspective, it was a good move. And I think that it accomplished the same thing that striking would have, but without the negative PR.
Am I cynical if I consider the thought that maybe the entire thing was orchestrated as a PR move, knowing he wasn't going to go through with the strike, and to find a way to make him step out of it looking good? And
possibly.
Because would it not, like, okay, so we're talking about an unmanned drone here. Yes, it's American property. It's considered part of our military, but striking 3 targeted locations and potentially, probably inevitably, killing people, is that an appropriate response for shooting down a fucking unmanned drone?
Well, what were these targets? Do we know?
Hold on.
I haven't read anything about what they were.
Hold on. You're gaggling up a little bit. It looks like you're freezing now on your end. There you go.
Am I still frozen?
Yeah,
okay.
What'd you say now?
No, I was saying, do we know what these targets were? Because I haven't read anything about what they are. I've just known 3 targets.
Yeah, no, it was 3 targets, but there were going to be casualties.
We don't know.
about.
But we don't know what they are, though.
Right.
Whether it's a town or is it like a
Well,
a SAM site or something like that, like a surface-to-air missile site, which would make sense. Some military target, or are we talking about civilian targets? What do we? I mean,
well,
so
as much as he used to mock or as he mocks previous administrations, one would think that they're not going to give up that information until the
Yeah.
strikes actually happen, right? So we're not going to know. What
yeah,
the
no, I mean that's
targets
fair,
were.
but right, but I mean that determines what we were talking about before with whether or not it was set up and whether or not he would have wanted to go through with it, how it would have made him look.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So if he was taking out military targets, I don't think too many people would be pissed off about that. But if it was something else, even like a military base, that would be kind of iffy, I think.
Well, when we look at, whenever I look at a situation like this, I take it with a grain of salt from the perspective of, these are not American troops that are over there. So when we're talking about, okay, so say it is 3 military points. There are still civilians typically in military facilities, right?
Oh yeah,
Whether it's janitors, whatever the hell, right?
yeah,
But to a certain extent, in a country like that, the military are also somewhat innocent in as far as when you're taking lives in a strike
yeah.
like this.
They
right?
they haven't fired a shot
Right.
in anger yet.
And I understand. Yes, they have free will and all of this, but I don't think getting out of the military, just walking away from the military because you don't believe in it, is as easy there as it is here.
Even
not
here,
that
it's not easy to
not
get
even
out.
that it's easy here, right?
Right, unless your enlistment is up, I mean, yeah, you can be thrown in jail forever. They'll bury you under the prison.
They're
You know?
they're more likely to kill you, right? One would
Oh, over
expect.
there, yeah, for sure.
Right. So, so when you're talking about 150 lives, whether they're specifically military and a very small percentage of civilians, I still don't see that as, much like he said, proportionate to an unmanned drone being shot down. Especially when there's just the idea that we can't determine one way or the other as a he said, she said about where the drone was. I would like to hear from the P-8 spy plane crew members.
Yeah, good luck.
Right? So, which we won't.
Not for another 60 years when it's declassified and one of them writes a book.
I mean, we
Just want to
can't.
hear about it.
Do we look at what happened with the Chinese tankers as something to add to the list of response list? Like, that wasn't targeted at us. That had nothing to do with us. I mean, I understand it's Iran, and the part that it confuses me.
I don't think it's Iran. I think it was Saudi Arabia, but
and
I mean,
that's what
just me.
confuses me about this is why Iran would have targeted Chinese tankers when China has already had some issues with the fact that they were supplying oil behind sanctions, behind our backs, to Iran.
Right.
So
So
they
why would
obviously
Iran
had a
take out
working
the
deal.
helping?
Right.
Right.
That throws confusion into
But
that
who?
situation.
But who in that area has an interest in maintaining those sanctions? Saudi Arabia. 100%. That's what I'm saying.
So they want us to go to war with Iran, do you think?
I don't know.
Because
I don't know if they want us to go to war with them, but they certainly don't want them to be helped. I mean, they are the power, the superpower in the Middle East at the moment, and that could change. And Iran is the only other one that has the capability of matching and even surpassing them at some point.
I mean, Iran takes full responsibility for shooting the drone down. I mean, they're, Salami, General Hossein Salami, love the name.
Salami.
I'm just saying that's his name. I didn't make it up. But he said,
I'm sure you're mispronouncing that though.
Salami. The I
Probably
is
Shah. It's Shah. I'm pretty
Shalame?
sure SA
Shalami?
makes the SH. I'm pretty sure.
There's no SH.
Could be
It's
wrong.
SALA.
No, I know, but I'm saying the SA makes the SH sound in Arabic. I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong.
Oh.
And Ed says I think it was Michelle and Al. Maybe. I know Al Gore's too busy hunting for Man Bear Pig, so I doubt it was him. But it might have been Michelle. Who knows?
But Shalami says shooting down the American spy drone had a clear, decisive, firm, and accurate message. The message is that the guardians of the borders of Islamic Iran will decisively respond to the violation of any stranger to this land. The only solution for the enemies is to respect the territorial integrity and national interests of Iran. So if they did the tankers, one would think that they would accept, own that one as well.
Right.
Because, I mean,
If they own the drone, then they're owning their actions, is
Right.
what you can kind of get from that.
You would take
Yeah.
away from that, right? Because, I mean, Iran seems past the point of worrying about terroristic attacks, right? They've got fucking nuclear missiles, right? They've got
Do
their
they?
balls. They got their balls in their hands. They're nuclear
I think they
capable,
do.
John. I don't know what they've got that they can fire, but they're nuclear capable. They've been there for a little while. I don't know if we've got an accurate update on what they hold, but
Some European intelligence believe Iran has resumed its alleged nuclear weapons design work. So, not saying that they do have it, but some European intelligence agencies believe that they have started to resume their alleged nuclear work. There's a lot of weasel words in there, and it doesn't seem like they believe that they actually have them, but that at least they're trying to get them.
see, and that's what confuses me about pulling out of the Iran deal is because that deal gave us access, right? And that's that they're obviously doing a good job of keeping low key what they do have going on. Much
Well, if
better
you
than
remember,
North
that's-
Korea was.
That was also the impetus for the Iraq War as well. Was they stopped letting the UN inspectors into the nuclear facility or into their facilities to see what they were doing. Ed says, or J. Edgar, in reality, neolibs and neocons are sitting here without their income currently, and a lot of them have a seat at the table in many of these countries.
Without what income? What is the income?
Yeah, probably oil income, I'm guessing, because that's not true. I think. I don't know.
We don't
Not sure
get-
exactly what he's.
Yeah, because I was going to say, how much oil interest is there in Iran?
I don't know. It was funny when I googled, "Does Iran have nuclear weapons?" One of the things that popped up along with that was, "Does Iran have oil?" I didn't click on it, but I thought that was
Well,
kind of funny. Obviously, people are
Want to
googling
know
that.
if that's an impetus to go
Yeah.
into Iran, right? If this is going to be
Right.
another oil war.
Yeah, need more of it.
But it's I don't know. It seems like the Iran deal was a way to keep everything stabilized, to where we were working with them. Much like what we're supposed to be doing with North Korea. To where we're able to talk to them, but just shutting them out and throwing sanctions. I mean, I don't know. That's like, I don't know, giving a prisoner only 5 minutes in the yard and then slapping them back in their cell and telling them they don't get any more sun for the next, foreseeable future. I mean, it's just a slap in the face. And yeah, there was a report out a week ago or so about they were going to reach the point of they're going to exceed the cap on enriched uranium that the levels that they were supposed to be within. They're poised to exceed that. I don't know, man. Do we go to war with them? What's the point, other than
I don't see a
rhetoric?
point.
I mean, are they going to openly attack more and provoke this from us? And
Yeah.
why do they want to get into a war with us if they don't have somebody behind them, somebody backing them? So, there's the question: who else is in play in the Middle East right now with Iran, who do they have in their back pocket? Because they can't facilitate this war on their own, in my opinion.
No, certainly not. It had to be either the Russians or the Chinese, and I don't know if it was Iran, which I don't think it is, but if it was Iran who destroyed those tankers, I mean, those were Chinese tankers, weren't they?
Right.
So China would have a reason, again, assuming that this is true, China would have a reason to not be on Iran's side.
So the question, then it comes back to the question, was this an orchestrated event to try and cause tension between China and Iran? Because if we had pulled something like that, we could incorporate, I could see us doing that, right? I could see us muddying the water. So if Iran is getting its balls up, like it's going to do something, what's your first thought, right? Russians or the Chinese? Well, let's go ahead and cause some friction between them and one of their main allies, because obviously China was allied enough with them to give them oil outside of the sanctions. Are we that? Are we? Is that what we're doing? Is it possible we're pulling that shit? Do you trust us enough, John?
No, I don't. I don't trust. I don't trust the U.S. government as far as I can throw them, and that's not at all because there's way too many of them. It's way too big to throw.
So he was talking about the money sitting without income. He's talking about the heads of the parties Halliburton profiting off military supply. But from the sound of it, the way Trump talks about the military, they've been doing fine because we've got a brand new military ready to go. We're all rebuilt, and we're all, so it's been putting money in somebody's pocket, apparently, with all the money we've been spending on the military.
Yeah, mostly defense contractors.
Like Halliburton?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't, other than the part of the equation where Iran provokes a war, I don't see any feasible reason to go to war with them unless it's a political move. And that's what makes everything questionable that's going on with Iran from our side is I know that political play can come into this and it impact what happens. When we went into Iraq, was that was during Bush's first term, wasn't it?
Was it the first term? Because I know we were in. No, I think it was the second term. Let me look it up.
Year was he?
Well, no, because we went to Afghanistan first.
Yeah, but I was more of the WMDs and all of that when we.
I'm looking it up right now.
Because Operation
Desert Storm. It was 2003.
So it was his first term, right?
Yeah, it was 2003. Yeah.
So, and it pretty much locked him into a second term. I'm not gonna beat around the bush here. No pun intended. The guy was an idiot, and the American public saw that on a regular basis, right? There was just too much. Well,
I don't think he was an idiot. I think he was just a bad speaker, which can make anyone sound like an idiot, no matter how smart they are.
Well, he always seemed disingenuous to me.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, obviously. That was pretty good.
All that laugh he had and just the way he would be, and you get all hunchy and squinty-eyed, and I'm like, all I picture is you sitting in fucking college snorting up cocaine and blowing your brain cells out.
No, he most certainly did.
Right?
I mean, he was the son of a president. I mean...
But I've seen these moves before. This is, going to war with Iran is a very strong way to secure a president's second term. So I don't put it above him to be involved with, a mine incident with Chinese tankers. Because it's a smart diplomatic move. I don't know. But what does that qualify? What would that qualify as? If we were to discover that this had been orchestrated by Americans from the American side, is that treasonous, John? That doesn't fall into the category of treason, does it?
No, that wouldn't be treason.
Fraud?
It'd be... Um,
Defrauding the American public?
I don't think there's anything. No, I don't think there's anything that the American government would do to itself for that, for discovering that.
Well, no, we
It
would
would be
have to
other.
answer
It would
to
be
the
other
UN.
countries. Yeah, but we are the UN. You know.
When it comes to crime, it doesn't matter who puts the most money in. The bottom line is you broke a law, and that
Yeah,
to
that'd
me
be nice.
sounds
That's
like
an ideal world.
I mean
That's too much idealism.
we could not pull something like that off and just expect nothing to happen, could we? Can we get away with that shit now?
I think so. Honestly, I don't want us to have been able to, but I think we can get away with it. Yeah. I think we're really far behind. I think there's a huge delay because the chat's really far behind us right now.
No,
Or
because Jay
it
Edgar's,
is.
was he an idiot, or was that the media portrayal, not a defense of that warmongering?
Right, that was a
God.
long time.
No, it really
Right, that was a
wasn't
long time ago. We talked about.
We already have it, and we know that there's like a delay already.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just because our shit was fucking up earlier.
Yeah, but the audio's been good, so we're good. No, I don't know, John. It's a situation that really bears watching, especially Saudi Arabia. They've decided that the crown prince quite possibly needs to answer for the death of Khashoggi, and something needs to.
I
be
don't see
done
that happening either.
How much of when we're talking globally, I mean, does the court of public opinion only count in America?
I would say so.
I mean,
Yeah, I can't think of anywhere else where it matters. I mean, we know the EU doesn't give a shit what its citizens say. Obviously, the UK doesn't give a shit what its citizens say. Obviously, the rest of the other countries are either dictatorships or almost thereabouts. So, I mean, where would it matter other than here?
So that's what it comes down to is how much outcry can we make, or will it matter? We've got Saudi Arabia. Our own president is less concerned about the death of a reporter than he is about making sure that we have arms sales going on between us and Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Well, he's got to look at the bigger picture. Unfortunately,
I understand.
I mean, I don't defend the decision, but I understand.
Yeah, but looking at the bigger picture allows things like that to happen.
Oh yeah,
Darfur.
Yeah, it does.
Darfur goes on. Some of these
Yeah.
heinous things that happen in the world.
100%.
And sad to say, it's because these things happen because of a proliferation of oil. Is that the right word? A proliferous amount of oil, or a complete lack of oil. Like, if you've got no oil, fuck your people up. We don't care. Do whatever you want. Mass genocide, have at it. It's on the menu.
Yeah.
If you've got oil, though, well, we need to talk.
About time to export some freedom to your ass.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? We need to, we've got the boots of freedom ready to step out of the plains, buddy.
That's right. Stomp all over you.
Yeah, we will,
Yep.
we will free that oil. Free that oil.
Hashtag free the oil.
Right? That's really what it seems to be about. So, do we, as America, because we're all powerful, do we really have the right to tell these countries they can't be nuclear capable? Who the fuck are
I mean,
we?
we have precedent, right? The whole point of creating the UN was to try and stop World War III from happening. And as soon as someone fires a nuke, that's going to start that.
Right.
So, and also obviously the mutually assured destruction, right? As soon as one country fires a nuke, all the nukes are going to start firing, or at least a good portion of them. I don't know. I mean, I think that we should give that. Oh no, I don't want to give that power to the UN. Gross. Ew, that just felt dirty thinking it, let alone saying it. Like,
I have to go back to the gun debate on this, and I'm going to pull this out of my ass. An armed society is a polite society, John.
And it has been. We haven't had another nuke fired, at least at a country where we've done tests and stuff, but nothing's been fired since World War II, since the end of World War II.
Well,
So
why aren't we? Why aren't we?
Yeah.
Why don't we have major? Why don't we have these major sanctions on India till they get rid of all of their nukes?
well, because the whole point of the treaty that was signed, and I forget what it was called, but it was no more nukes, right? So if you already had them, you didn't have to get rid of them, but we gave you like special, incentives to do so, and some countries did. Um, so yeah, I mean, as long as they're not actively making nukes, there's no issue there.
I mean, I can see from the global perspective that it's a lot like us saying we don't want anybody else to have nukes because we want to reserve the right to turn your fucking country into a parking lot whenever we want. That's kind of the impression I feel like we give them.
I know that's what you think, but otherwise we would have been nuking people left and right. No, it's because we know that it's going to be our own end.
It's the threat
as well.
It's we. Why aren't we dismantling our nukes? Why don't we get rid of all that we have?
Because everyone else hasn't done it.
So we lead by example.
No, fuck that.
We're not powerful enough to get rid of our nukes?
No.
So, then it
in fact, we have way more than everyone else combined. Not combined. I don't think that's true. I don't think it's combined, but we have more than everyone else, for sure.
So we like sitting around with the big stick.
Oh yeah. Well, we have to.
Right. So that's why I say, how is it impossible that part of the globe doesn't see us as that person sitting there with the big stick? Don't pick up that stick, because if you do, I've got a bigger stick I'm going to hit you with. So I don't even want you to have a stick. You don't even get a stick. But understand, I have this big fucking stick, and if you get out of line, I'm going to hit you with it.
Well, no,
That's how it feels.
Again, we've been at war continuously since World War II when the nukes went off.
Sure.
And we haven't fired another one, but we've been at war constantly since then.
John,
and before that too.
The point of the big stick is not to hit people with it. The point of the big stick is to scare the fuck out of somebody. We've used the big stick before, so we have an example. We've already set the example. It's kind of like in The Walking Dead when Negan had them all down on their knees.
I don't know shit about The Walking Dead.
Somebody will. But anyway, he has a baseball bat, and he's like, look, one of you has to die. Only one of you. But one of you has to die to set an example so that everyone knows moving forward exactly what's going to happen when you step out of line. And that's what we did. We dropped them twice, right? We've set the example with the big stick, and now we carry it, and we tell people you can't have a stick. Now, did Iran sign off that they weren't ever going to build nukes?
I don't know.
Right? Did North Korea sign off with the UN? No, they're not even part of the UN. Right? Countries that aren't part of the UN. Who the fuck are we to go in and say you can't do?
Well, that's when, right. That's why we put sanctions on them, and to, I guess, de-incentivize them from doing that, or incentivize them to not do that. It's my guess, at least.
Right. So we use an oppressive tactic. I don't understand.
I don't think it's oppressive.
When you put sanctions on a fucking country, yes, it's intended to be oppressive.
No, it's intended to say we're not going to trade with you. We're not trading with you at all. You don't get traded with.
Right.
That's not oppressive.
Sure.
That's not doing anything to the country. It's just preventing them from gaining more shit.
Okay, and typically those sanctions also say other countries can't give you shit either. Like, China shouldn't give you oil when we have sanctions on you.
But the other countries have to sign on to the sanctions, and there's pressure on those countries to do so. That's true, but they don't have to.
But to the citizenry in these countries, who now have to struggle with getting this, that, or the other thing, because and I understand. Okay, yes, it's this idea that this will incentivize the people to rise up and ask for change in leadership, or
That'd be sweet.
But these are countries where that's not going to happen. I mean,
I like what Ed says in the chat.
Well,
Yeah, if we get rid of our nukes, that will Swalwell enforce gun control. It's true. See, we need our nukes.
but I mean, it's like take North Korea. Sanctions don't get the people to rise up. It's
Well,
the
that's a
people just
totally
wind up
different
being.
thing.
Well, it's no different than Iran.
So hang
How
on,
many
let
people-
me take a piss real quick, and then I will tell you why that's totally different.
Well, you better hurry because the stream's almost over.
Well, my stream is about to start.
It may end before. Why are you still sitting there? You should go and get it done so you can get back. And then I can sit here and not have to mumble along. So, J. Edgar, should we go into Iran? I'm just asking. I mean, is that what we should do? Do we have a reason? Do we have enough provocation? I don't know. I don't. How do we walk away from it? How do we stop them from poking the bear, as it were? Not that we're a bear. We're more of an eagle. I know. Russia's the bear. Or is China the bear? Russia's the bear. But, I don't know. I think we need to leave them be. Is it possible to just let them do their own fucking thing and ignore it and it'll go away? Or are they just going to continually do something? I don't think they can reach us, and they can't do anything to us from a military standpoint outside of nukes if they had them, which I don't believe they have anything they can target. So why would they try and provoke a war with us, knowing that we will win? Knowing that it's inevitable that we win unless they've got somebody in their back pocket. China. Or is it the Russians? John has speculated it could be one or the other. Saudi Arabia. But we have too much going on in arms deals with Saudi Arabia to push that one. Encoding overloaded. Fuck no. See? I like that.
All right. Were you really sitting there silently the whole time?
No.
Good.
I was
Rambling
on.
Bad. So yeah. Anyway, the difference between, or the reason why North Korea, the people don't like revolt there or ask for change, because they physically can't. I mean, there's complete state-run media. There's, the people who are really poor, which is all of them, right? But relative to that country, the really poor don't have food for energy for protesting, and they'll just straight up kill their people. I mean, they don't give a fuck,
Right.
right? And the people who are richer and they live more privileged, first of all, don't want to risk that because they know what it's like, not being that.
Right.
And so they know what happens to people who do that. And so that's why the only way of protest that you see in North Korea is people trying to escape into China.
Right.
Yeah, that's typically that's what you said.
And that makes my
I don't think
that makes my point. Sanctions only impact the government. You're only going to see, and
that's
if
the point,
if the government doesn't care about the people and the people aren't able to stand up and say anything, then the people just wind up getting hurt in the whole thing. The citizens.
Right, but that in turn does hurt the government in that they have less workers, they have less, he does. He will. Or no, he was supposed to. That was, I guess I shouldn't say he does. He was supposed to. That was the whole point of putting the sanctions on there.
But Iran is not much different. Iran's not far removed. Iran's not far removed from that, John. They're not much different than that whole situation. In North Korea, the leadership there is just as tyrannical.
I don't know that. I don't think that's true at all. I don't think that's true at all. It's not nearly as bad.
They have an iron thumb on their people?
I think they do, but I don't think it's nearly as much as North Korea is a very special case. Very unique case, even. In fact, that's one of my favorite areas of study is North Korea because of how interesting it is.
Okay. So
I mean, I'm saying that there's no other country on the earth like that.
As far as the oppression of the people goes?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure there are. It's just different kinds of oppression, John. I mean, when you go into Africa, I mean, there are places in Africa where that kind of oppression or worse goes on. I mean, it's just a different type
There's
of oppression.
constant no, but it's more oppression because they don't mess with people's thoughts in Africa and these African countries. They don't mold people from the very beginning to worship their leaders as deities. Right? No, because they're constantly being overthrown by one group or another who then takes power and is just as brutal and just as ridiculous. Power changes in Africa are constant, at least in the countries that we're talking about that are very oppressive. Some of them aren't as bad as others, but there's nowhere near anything like North Korea on the earth.
I th- I don't agree that sanctions do what they're intended to
I
do. I don't.
I don't I don't think they always do, no,
I don't.
but I think they can certainly help in at the negotiation table, right? Saying, oh, we'll lift this, this sanction or this one, and that helps out a country's economy when they do that.
Sure, if they're ready to sit, if they're willing to sit down at a
Right.
negotiating table.
But if you don't have sanctions in the first place, you lose that bargaining chip.
Ultimately, I think Jay, Ed's got a better point is that we need to just, like me, we need to just ignore Iran, leave them be, stay out of their, stay away from
Yeah,
them,
no, I agree.
and let the Middle East sort it out because
Right.
the rest of the Middle
Yeah.
East, especially Israel, even Saudi Arabia. I don't care how much, even if they were potentially involved, they don't want to. They don't want to fuck up their relationship with us. Not these arms that they get, and this idea, especially if they have a crown prince that could be looking at, some sort of, murder bullshit charge, conspiracy, and all of this that went on with that. He wants to keep us in his back pocket. They want the American ally that we are to them. So yeah, I think everybody else over there might sort this Iran thing out if we just back off
I agree.
and let it play out.
Yeah.
And not get our drones close. I mean, obviously that drone was close enough that it was questionable airspace.
It must have been because they were able to shoot it down. Right? I mean, how'd it get so close? Or how'd they shoot it down if it wasn't close enough?
Well, they have.
For them
Don't
to
they
shoot it
have
down.
Do they have boats? It was over the water.
I mean, yeah,
Where did
I'm
they
sure
shoot
they have
it from
ships.
land?
I don't know. I don't know where they shot it from.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just a matter of
I don't know what the state of the Iranian Navy is these days. I don't keep up on that.
yeah.
It can't be great.
It's just one of those things where I think they were just trying to do a little bluff and bluster with something that came close, and they saw an opportunity, they took it, and to show their ass a little bit. Just stay back.
It's also possible that it wasn't. It's also possible that it wasn't sanctioned by the government. It was just the people,
Somebody who
in
lashed
that
out.
position at that time was made the decision.
Sure.
And that's what happened. Even like the top officials in Iran didn't know that it happened until after it happened.
Well,
They're like, shit. Now I guess we got to deal with that.
I'll leave it to you to figure out if there's a reason why we would even need to go to war with them. I mean,
I don't think there's a
if-
reason. I can't think of
if
one
they
other
don't-
than protecting Saudi Arabia and Israel's interests. That's the only reason I can think of.
Well, they haven't. If they're not even testing nuclear warheads yet, if they haven't reached that point, well, then okay, we've got a lot of room to move here. So again, that points me to thinking that some of the whole diatribe about the strike last night, maybe a little overemphasized. Yeah, they may have come to him and says, "Hey, we've got this option. We can target these 3 facilities. We can do a coordinated strike." And he's like, "Okay, well, let's go ahead and start putting that plan into action. That sounds good to me."
Sure.
And then somebody says, maybe take this into consideration. He's like, "I already have. I know that people are going to die. Let's carry it through. I'll pull the plug at the end. I get FaceTime. I look magnanimous.
Right.
Blah. And
Looks like he's willing to do something but also looks, virtuous. Like I don't want to do it yet.
And I'm almost betting that, and this is one thing that I will say, that around Donald Trump there are a few decent voices in there giving him advice, and somebody did. They told him, there's no reason to do this. It'll look better on you. And trust me, when it comes to Iran, this is also a bargaining chip for you. You could have struck these 3 targets and you didn't, because you didn't want to take a life over an unmanned drone. Now you've got something else to bring to the table. When you talk to them, of course, like their rhetoric, they came back with their own rhetoric. Of course, oh well, there was another airplane up there. We could have shot that down too, right? But
That one had people on it, which would have been a
that
bigger
would have
deal.
started the war.
Yeah.
But I was saying, when you went away, there's really no reason for Iran to go to war with us, to even intimate that they're going to. And I understand bluff and bluster, right? But to seriously consider going to war with us, if you don't have somebody big in your back pocket, you're not going to win Iran.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not.
They have to know that, and they're not stupid. They have to know that.
I don't even think we'd have to put boots on the ground to win a war in Iraq. We could do it from the water. We could do it from the air.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, if you want to occupy, then yeah, you would have to have boots on the ground. Other than that, no.
But we don't need to occupy. We don't have any reason to. Right? We haven't figured out any reason to go into Iran and occupy it. If somebody wants to occupy Iran, let Israel do it.
Yeah, they're not. No, they're not ready to do that.
Once we've parking lot, once we've bombed the shit out of them, all right, let Israel come in and sweep up. Whoever wants to, Saudi Arabia, whatever, somebody come in.
I don't. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, they're not close enough. Saudi Arabia might, but still, even then, I doubt it. I doubt they would.
They'll have a lottery and they'll split it up into tracts of land and put some housing developments in there, some chic houses and stuff. That's what'll happen.
New paint, new shrubs. You know.
Exactly. Yeah. Fake shrubs. Fake shrubs. They don't grow well in the desert.
No.
But anyway, so this one remains to be seen. This one's going to have to slow play, I think. It just depends. It's all going to be about Iran now has to respond to their own response, right? Now they have to respond to the nuclear, to the drone shooting. So how do you bounce back from that, right? Do you say, okay, do you leave it there? Are they going to leave it there and say, okay, this was isolated event? Somebody saw it over our airspace, shot it down. Or do they
let me ask
okay,
this.
That didn't accomplish enough?
Yeah, let me answer your question with another question. How do you de-escalate as a country without looking like a bitch? Do you know what I mean? Like, because obviously each thing escalates it one more step. Each thing that they do, they're talking shit. But if you look like a bitch in the Middle East, you're gonna get fucked.
But we did. That's exactly what we just did, though. We did that for them. We took this out. That strike was the de-escalation. That was us poised to respond.
There's an attempt to de-escalate. However,
well, that's what I'm saying. We're putting the onus on them. Now, you made a statement about the drone. You said, if it comes into our airspace, we will defend ourselves. Folks need to just let us do our thing. Stay out of our business. It's basically what they said. So they've got the last word on it. We didn't do a military strike. We pulled back from that. We said, okay. So now they have the opportunity to stand on that statement. Let us stay the fuck out, and then they can just carry on business as usual. Don't ramp up the rhetoric, okay? The tankers didn't do it. The drone didn't do it. So what do we need to do now to take this to the next level? They have the opportunity. They are poised to go one way or the other. Now the question is what choice they make. I think that's what was accomplished from not making the strike last night. Somebody was smart enough to see that could be the way to de-escalate the situation. and it forces
I don't
Iran
know.
to call the ball. What are you going to do next?
Yeah, no, the ball is in their court.
Yeah.
I don't know how they kind of, and that's one of the tough parts about it is how do you de-escalate without also looking like you're scared, like you're backing down.
Well, and
You know,
that's
they're in a very tough position at the moment.
but they brought
I
down a
don't envy
drone.
them.
They brought down a drone that was in their
I mean,
airspace, and they were
yeah,
magnanimous and did not bring down. You know, that could have made them look like a bitch. Why didn't you shoot down the
yeah,
spy plane if it was there?
but
Right?
could they have? Could they actually have, or are they just saying that they could have and they didn't?
Who knows?
You know, it's like,
By
yeah,
saying to their Middle Eastern buddies, by saying we could have but we didn't, that's a bitch move right there. So you
no,
should have taken out those fucking
no.
infidels if they were in your airspace.
No. What that makes them look, that makes them look magnanimous, just like Trump not doing the strike
But
makes
why do
him
you
look
want to look
magnanimous. Whether it's
magnanimous?
true or not.
That
Well, no,
doesn't.
it's saying like, look, we're not actively looking for war, but we're ready for it. What are you gonna do? And then we kind of said, no, the ball's still in your court. What are you gonna do?
Well,
So basically, we're bumping chests at the moment, you know, with our hands out. What's up, bro? Come on, bro. Throw the first punch, bro. That's what we're doing at the moment between the two of us.
well, yeah, I don't think it's going to come off as a bitch move if they leave it stand at we're not going to put up with aggression over our borders, and as long as nobody breaks that sanctity, they don't have any reason to respond again, so they don't have to look like a bitch. They just have to look like they stood their ground. And they're
Yeah.
poised for that perfect moment right now. They maintain whatever reputation they have in their region, and they've made their point. You know, I think they can walk away from this and continue doing what they're doing. You know, they got to figure out a way to get the sanctions off of them, maybe, yeah. But you know, they kind of got a raw dog on that one, right? I mean, he's just, you know, it's like they were getting a good slow fuck from the Obama administration, then suddenly Trump, right in the middle of it, right when they're really feeling the
Yeah,
pleasure,
they tag out.
he pulls right out, and just like no warning, no nothing. Didn't even shoot a
Nope.
little on their face. He just pulled out. Boom. Gone. He's like, you're not even worth getting a shot on the face.
He's doing the what's it called? Where like you pull out and you act like you finish, and then they turn around and you finish right on their face. There's a move. I don't know, one of those shitty like moves that people say is real, but no one ever does it.
Right.
Kind of like the Cosby sweater. You heard about that one?
No, I'm
That's a
afraid
fun
I
one.
don't want to.
Well, I gotta say it now. No, it's where you eat a bunch of fruity pebbles and then you vomit on your partner's chest.
Nice.
Yeah,
Cosby sweater.
Cosby sweater.
Well, on that note, John, thanks.
Yes.
Thanks for making sure.
Good note
I
to
don't
finish
sleep-
on, in my opinion.
That I don't sleep well tonight.
Oh, you know you're gonna try it.
It's the pudding. All right, so we're going to get the hell out of here, and hopefully we won't come back on Monday and be at war. Hopefully we can
Well-
maintain a nice cold peace between now and then.
And hopefully we'll have our buddy Midget B on the program for Monday.
Are there rumors?
There were rumors last Monday,
You need to
but
work his
they've
ass
not been
out.
substantiated.
That's
Yeah.
it's on you. You're going to have to bust his balls, get him on there,
I will.
and see if you can make it happen. But I was a little on
Jeez,
stage.
you alright, old man?
Yeah, a little tired. You know, all that bullshit I have to put up with from you.
Yeah, that's fair.
But John, we're going to be back on Monday night for Shooting the Ship. Maybe we'll have us some Midget B. And then we are going to be hitting next Friday. We're going to be coming at you with some coverage from the two presidential Democratic debates. John and I are both going to get our bags of popcorn and sit and watch intently and form some opinions and kind of give an idea of where we think the country stands as far as competitors are concerned.
I'm very excited about it. Can't wait. That'll be fun.
Are you on the edge of your seat? Don't fall off.
Not currently, no. but I will be by then.
Hopefully, it'll be a lot of fun. So, John, in the interim, where can they find us?
Nice. They can find us right here on YouTube.
Oh, okay,
But-
that's good. Thanks.
Yep, see ya. Nope, but they can also find us at other places as well. I don't know if you knew this, Robert. They can currently find us in the description. We have several links, 3 to be exact. One that goes to our Twitter, which is at the GenGapP. Another one that goes to our Discord, which is at Discord. And then also, we have a link to Freedom Scoop, which we are on as well. Yeah, Freedom Scoop. But check us out
You
there.
need to make sure you can get the 4s in, right? Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, Freedom Scoop. Awesome. Check it out.
It's more than
Cool
just
place
ice
to go. It's a little bit more than ice cream.
So
Slightly
folks,
more.
If you like what you're hearing, hit the like button. If you haven't done it already, hit the subscribe button. And if you're not doing anything this week, give people $5 and have them hit the subscribe button too.
Yeah, do that.
Hey, anything for a subscriber, right?
Yeah.
But
not
outside of that,
anything.
we will be back here on Monday night, and we'll be looking forward to it. It's going to be an exciting week. I can't wait to see what the week holds for us. Hopefully, we
Hell
won't be
yeah.
at war. Hopefully, we won't have raped any other women in dressing rooms, and hopefully, Jussie Smollett will get his just dessert.